My response to the rose, my poetic response to a song. I never learned to dance. I had a heart afraid of everything. Ridicule, being called stupid, a retard. Clumsiness, being called a footbreaker. Cluelessness, being called a heartbreaker. Facing the wrath of a God who hated fun, at least if I had it. Whether 'twas God or others accusing made no difference, and oh yes, it takes two to tango, and my heart was afraid of breaking, so I never learned to dance. I had beautiful Technicolor dreams, but they were also afraid of everything. What if I was wrong and called a failure? I faced this anyway and could not avoid it, even when I gave up my own dreams to follow and serve those of others. At least then I was not guilty of a wrong dream, a dream that must be wrong because it was my own. And I also had vivid Technicolor nightmares that came closer to reality than my dreams, and that I could never pawn off. They were always my own. Better to dream on than to awaken and face them. But was I so afraid of being taken that I never learned to give? No, I gave and gave and gave. I was afraid of being taken, but I was more afraid of being called uncaring, unchristian, stingy, the cause of others' woes, that I gave even when I shouldn't have, gave for all the wrong reasons, gave up some of those closest to me who now no longer own me, gave up opportunities that would never come again, and never really learned to give. So my soul too was afraid of everything, but most of all of dying while I yet lived, of the loss of the things that were my life, of the death of the love of those I loved, of the very things that in my fear of death died, of the knowledge that of this death I was the cause. It was not the hatred of the God who hated fun, the God of my Puritan pilgrim past, that kept me from learning to dance, from learning to live, but my fear of life's lost kept me from learning to live. So dare I hope, so late as now, toward the end of my life, that beneath all of the ice and snow atop my frozen grave, when the sun's love clears the cold stone, there will yet lie the seed that in the spring becomes the rose?